Good morning and welcome to Monday Moments with Fran. I hope you are well today. If you're new to Monday Moments, my name is Francesca and we're here to really bring some encouragement on a Monday morning so you can have an amazing start to your week. And I'm here with a lovely guest today, so please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Elodie and I'm 18 years old and I have a YouTube channel and I've just recently launched a business with self-development called the InfluenceHER.
Amazing. And if you don't already, you can follow Elodie on Instagram because, her content is incredible. And I
Oh,
really
thank
wanted to
you.
bring Elodie on here because sometimes it's good to have a younger person's perspective, right? Some of us who are, getting on a little bit in age, it's it's always refreshing to see what young people are doing. And so today we want to really talk about discovering your self-worth because everybody needs to have a really good level of self-worth. I think life in itself is tough. There's a lot of pressures, and so how we feel about ourselves is really, really important. So
Yeah.
if I can ask, why is this such an important subject in your view?
Well, I think especially me being a teenager, growing up in front of social media, the instant gratification, everything is just fast paced and we don't have any time to really work on ourselves. Teenagers get into relationships a lot younger, school is getting harder, and I feel like people are like kind of losing themselves. And I think being a teenager, especially in the world that we live in, it is really hard to kind of just focus on ourselves and we don't even know where to start a lot of the time. And especially me, I dealt with that as well. And that's why I want to give young people the opportunity to really make that a priority.
Amazing. And I
Yeah.
do think the change in social media and how much of it there is, like,
Yeah.
it feels that every few months there's a new platform, there's
No,
something new, and it's
exactly.
like, oh my goodness. What
Yeah.
do you think the role of social media plays on individuals' self-worth?
I think, well, the obvious one, especially when it comes to teenage girls, you see the models, the influencers, and they've all got the surgeries or the makeup, and they're living the high life. And it's like you look at yourself and you're like, I'm not achieving that. And then I think it's also the standards on who you're supposed to be. It's like, especially in my age, you see a lot of these things. It's like, you should be like this, you should do things like this. And there's no space for originality, and it's like no one is doing their own thing. And
Yeah,
I feel like as teenagers we have to discover ourselves because we can get caught up in the trends and then be following the trends and not our heart. So that's what I would
yeah.
say.
Oh, I love that. We can be following the trends and not our heart.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because it's great to learn at a young age, but I would argue there are also some very mature adults who are still needing to kind of be in
Mm,
that space where they're following their heart
yeah,
and they're not following
100%.
what they see on social media, or they're not following these big influencers who seemingly
Mm,
have these amazing lives, but no one really knows what goes on behind someone's
no,
front door, right?
exactly. Yeah.
And we can show up on a camera and have the hair, the makeup, and have the filter to make this
Mm-hmm.
great look, but it's not real life.
No, no, exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so, what are some of the ways in which you support other young people to discover their self worth?
I would say I would always, first of all, I always tell people that your worth is unconditional. And no matter what you've done in your past, no matter what mistakes you're going to make in the future, your worth remains. And really, worth is about discovering it and understanding it. It's not about gaining more. Because a lot of people will be like, I don't have any worth. And it's like, no, you do. You just haven't realized it yet. So I think
Yeah.
that's the first thing that I would always tell people. And then I would say it's really dealing with your environment and trying to understand, okay, what is around me that is stopping me from embracing who I really am. So I would talk a lot about relationships, talk a lot about the surroundings that you have, your social media, and just understand that the surroundings that you have, I always see it as like you have your sunflower and you have an environment around you, and either that environment is going to be gloomy and stop you from growing and reaching your full potential, or it's going to be sunshine and it's going to embrace you growing. So
Yeah.
I always tell people you need to have an environment that is encouraging you to grow. And then I feel like going on that journey is a lot easier because everyone around you or the things that you are watching, listening to is encouraging that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I think into mingle with that is such a lot of self-acceptance, and stop trying to be somebody that perhaps you're not, because
Exactly.
you're okay exactly as you are.
Mhm.
You were made the way you were made, you look the way you look, and it's acceptable.
Yeah, 100%.
Fantastic. And have you had any stories back from other people as to the impacts of what you've been sharing that's been really helpful that you could share with us?
Yeah, I've had a few people, a lot of people on my YouTube. I do, not only do I have my business, I now have a new channel just pure for self-development and my faith. So a lot of people have come back to me and said that I've helped them be more confident, embrace themselves. A lot of other people have said I've helped them grow their faith. Someone messaged me and said they picked up their Bible for the first time in like
Wow.
5 years since watching my
Oh my
YouTube videos.
goodness.
Yeah, so I think that's another thing, like bringing faith into it is always something that I prioritize, because even if you aren't a Christian, I feel like for me, I find my identity in Christ and
Yeah.
I want other people to like experience what I've experienced. So yeah, I've had a lot of testimonies on people that have grown their faith through my videos. So yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. And this is where, like, for me, one thing I'm really passionate about is people living in their purpose and
Hmm.
really doing what is inside of them to do, or what God has given them a heart to do,
Yeah.
because it ends up not being about them, right? So
No,
if you
100%.
weren't this confident and incredible young woman who was able to articulate herself and share on these videos, there's a whole lot of people who wouldn't hear your messages and who wouldn't hear your stories and have their lives impacted as a result.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, which is really, really phenomenal. So on Monday Moments, it's really all about encouragement and giving people a good start to their week, because there's always so much discouragement and challenge around us. So just as we wrap up, how would you want to encourage somebody who is really challenged this week? Within themselves, maybe they're battling insecurity, they're
Mm.
battling a lot of self-doubt and fear and stuff. How would you encourage them?
I would say, firstly, that how you feel does not identify you. You know, a lot of people will be like, I feel anxious, I feel down, I feel like I'm not good enough. That's just, I always say it's a lie, and how you have to step into your truth and you can't let your feelings depict your identity. So, the first thing that I would say is that how you feel is not who you are, and you still have potential. And then I would say how you still have a chance to turn it around. And like I think I saw on your Instagram a couple days ago talking about how you one moment doesn't depict like the whole of your day, and how you always have a chance to turn it around. And I think, as I said earlier about the environment, if you like get an environment or find a podcast or find a video that is going to uplift you, and it's not going to work straight away, it's not a magical thing that just carries you through your week, but I think if you find something that just gives you that sense of peace and that sense of understanding that, okay, I feel like this, but that doesn't impact my whole week, I
Yeah.
would say that that is something that can really help you move forward.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah,
So, so good. And there's
thank
so
you.
much wisdom wrapped up in all of that. Like every little line could be a further teaching. But thank you so much for being on today, Elodie, and sharing
You're
from your
welcome.
heart. It's been a real pleasure. And like I said, guys, please do go and follow Elodie on Instagram. And also, what's your YouTube channel called?
My YouTube is Elodie Christina.
Okay, perfect. I will find the link and put it below this video. But guys, that's it from Monday Moments with Fran today. Have a great week. As always, don't forget to encourage somebody else, and I shall see you soon. God bless you.